everyone, and welcome to Antigonish today for Eastland Community Television's coverage of AUAA football action. Along with Phil Hughes and Paul Veach, I'm Sandy Mackay, and all our Eastlink crew welcome you. We're glad you could join us. We've got a dandy today. The #1 St. Mary's Huskies, ranked in the land, bring their potent offense to Antigonish to meet St. Francis Xavier in their homecoming game. St. Mary's has outscored their opponents 80-15 on the season so far. It's an absolutely gorgeous day for football, and as I'm about to send you from field level up to Paul and Phil in the broadcast booth, hey guys, you think the wind today, it's rather gusty, do you think that'll have an effect on the St. Mary's air game?
I don't really think so. I think that you may affect the passing, the kicking game, but I don't think there's enough wind right now that's really going to affect the passing game. It's a dry field, conditions look pretty good, so the wind should be no problem whatsoever.
Beautiful day this afternoon here at the Olin Center. Nice bright sunshine. I think the game is going to be very interesting.
Well, Paul, we're the St. FX football team. St. FX lost a number of players last year. They had an early season loss to these same Huskies at the beginning of the year, but came back with a win against Mount A and showed a running display that we haven't seen in St. FX in a number of years.
It should be very interesting, Phil. I was talking to some of the coaches before the game, and they were saying that they had a wonderful week of practice. The boys are really looking forward to the game, and here's hoping that everybody at home enjoys this as much as we will, giving you the play-by-play.
Well, after watching the USA Dream Team Lithuania basketball game yesterday 2 or 3 times, I guess almost anything can happen. We have an interview coming up with head coach of the St. FX X-Men, John Stevens. Will now go to that taped interview.
Coach Stevens, we're here for another season of St. FX X-Men football there. Perhaps you could tell us about some of the changes with the lineups and the coaches.
Yes, we're looking at St. FX football this year as a new beginning. We have a number of changes on our team. Probably most notably would be the coaches. We do have a number of realignments of responsibilities. Steve Howlett is here as our new offensive coordinator. And also a full-time assistant football coach. He came to us from the University of Alberta and is doing a great job with our offense. Last week we had 240 yards rushing, and Matthew Williams was named the Offensive Player of the Week in the AUA. So we're quite excited about offense. Also, Coach Stewart, Mike Stewart, is our new defensive coordinator. He came to us from the Royals, our Antigonish high school football team. Or now defunct Antigonish football team. He's doing a super job. Last week against Mount Allison, we had 8 consecutive series where Mount A was 2 plays and punt, which is quite a feat. Also, we have Kristen Demers is our special teams coordinator, and we do have 10 coaches. I won't mention them all at this point, but also Greg DeLaval, as well as doing receivers, is also our academic counselor, which is a tremendous asset to our football team.
Now, last weekend you faced Mount Allison, had a good showing against them. This weekend you're playing St. Mary's, who's in the top of the division, has a grade 4 and against average. How do you prepare for this game?
Well, the last time we played against St. Mary's, they pretty well handed us to a pretty good. It was, I believe, it was 42-7. So, we definitely have to improve. We think because we have a younger football team, every week will improve substantially. And I really, as a team, we're very, very excited about having a chance to play the #1 team in the country. It really raises our level of play. We do play St. Mary's quite a bit at the beginning of the season, and then toward the latter part of our season, we play most of our games against Acadia and Mount Allison. So we're hoping by competing against St. Mary's early in the season, that'll help raise the level of our play. So when we get towards the latter part of the season, we'll be able to compete for a playoff position.
Now, as you mentioned last weekend, a great showing by Matt Williams. Is he going to be the go-to guy for this team?
Well, we think so. We also have a pretty good running back in Dave Hickey, also in Matt Stinson. We were pretty deep at running back. Going into last week, Dave Hickey was our starting tailback, and he got injured in practice last week, and Matt Williams stepped in and became the AUA Player of the Week. So it's kind of nice to have balance, and in university football, I guess in football in general, you have to have depth, and we're very, very fortunate at running back that we do have a number of players who can compete at this level quite nicely.
Well, I certainly like to thank you for joining us and talking to us, and wish you all the best against the Huskies.
Thank you very much.
We're back. We just had the ceremonial kickoff. Kevin Adichuk did the kickoff. He may have set a record that time, Paul. A pretty good kick.
Well, he went, I figured, Phil, for about 37 yards is what I measured there, so that probably is a record.
Well,
but
the old record might have been 36.
Okay, there you go.
St. Mary's is being introduced onto the team now, onto the field. Blake Nell, the head coach of St. Mary's, a former STFX full-time assistant. Coach has done a heck of a job, Paul.
He sure has. It's wonderful in some ways to see that he also has surrounded himself with graduated X-Men players and other fellows that have been associated with St. FX. It says a lot, I think, for the old program that we once had, and I think St. FX should be proud. I know we don't always like to see them on an opposition team, but it's good for our program.
Absolutely. Right now, we're going to be switching over, take a look at the standings of the AUAA. You see St. Mary's 2-0. The big stat there is 80 points for and only 15 points again. Acadia 1-1, losing to St. Mary's last week, followed by Santa FX 1-1 and Mount Allison 0-2. And the big news in the Mount Allison camp this past week is the retirement of their quarterback, Capone. It'll be interesting. They need to. Capone is a fifth-year quarterback. I don't think it's going to hurt them insofar as it's certainly going to give their second-year quarterback a lot of playing time.
Exactly, and it'll also prepare them for the future. I mean, sometimes having a fifth-year quarterback is great, but now that the season is 2 games under their belt, it'll give this new fella a chance to get a feel, and perhaps next year he'll be a lot more comfortable.
In the scoring aspect of it, quite obviously St. Mary's has a very, very high potent offensive football squad. We're just about ready. We have the scoring leader, Acadia Zuber, with 18 points, a running back. Breckenridge, 18 points. He's a kicker, I believe. St. Mary's, obviously, with 80 points, has the second, third, and fourth scorers in the league, followed by Tratner with Acadia with 9. Now, very close to that would be Matt Williams, who scored 2 touchdowns for St. FX last week. So it's going to be interesting to see how that will work for St. FX this week.
What you're seeing right now is St. FX introducing their starting offense. The quarterback, for those that aren't aware perhaps, is number 3 for St. FX, JR.
Not really.
We don't have their names, or they're right here.
Oh, we do have the names. Referee Peter Eddie, linesman Al Gates, and Greg McLean.
Rock and roll, baby.
Eddie is a seasoned official. Early in the year, they had a number of young kids coming in for the St. FX Blue and White, and I'm sure they did the same thing for the other teams. But we have an absolutely beautiful day for football today, and we're just about to have the national anthem. Beautiful fall day. Heavy frost last night, Paul. First time I saw some ice in the puddles this morning.
Yes, Phil, it was a big surprise. Right up until about 10 o'clock this morning, it was cold outside. My back lawn furniture was covered when I left the house, so it was very cold here last night. But it's turned into a beautiful day. They said it'd go up to 19 degrees. I don't know if it's reached there yet.
Well, we're getting ready. I'm not sure. I didn't see any indication yet as to who's kicking off and who's returning. But what we're going to see is a very, very powerful St. Mary's Husky team. And we're going to see a determined St. FX team who is playing in front of a homecoming crowd. Looks like a fairly good sized crowd is starting to filter in. Big news today also, a big event was the breaking of the ground for the new Millennium Center that's being put up at St. FX. That should be an absolutely terrific and tremendous both athletic and recreational facility for the town, county, and the general eastern Nova Scotia. It looks as if St. FX will be receiving. Kicking off for St. Mary's is Chris Breckenridge. Back to receive for St. FX. Matt Williams in 29, did you say, Paul?
Yes.
29 would be Adam Stinson. Those are the two primary running backs of St. FX. Just about ready to go. AUFC football. Start of the game. Breckenridge getting ready. Kickoff. Wind could be a bit of a factor starting off. Pretty good prevailing wind down the field. Ball, as you can see, was just blown off the tee. Gives some indication of the wind. And if we look up at the academic tower at the end of the field, the flag is whipping around pretty good. So it could have a direct effect on the kicking game. As for the passing game, we'll have to see. St. Mary's will be kicking with the wind to start off the game. Ball is up over to the left-hand corner. Williams has the ball, moving up the side. St. FX trying to face up. Williams is hit by a number of St. Mary's players, and St. FX will have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 22-yard line.
The main tackler that time was the fullback, Gabe Harvey, number 33.
A lot of changes in football now, Paul. We have all the fast guys out on the specialty teams than way back when we used to play.
That's right.
St. Mary's, St. FX 1st and 10. Come out over the ball. Gallant is quarterback for St. FX. In the backfield, we have Williams and Fitzgerald. Count. St. FX in the move. St. Mary's in an overshift defense. Handoff off tackle, left tackle to Williams. Williams picks up maybe 5 games, but it looks like he may be injured. He took a pretty good shot to the his hip or just below the hip. He's on the ground right now. Matt Williams, the leading ground gainer for St. FX last week, 171 yards. Looks like he took a pretty good stinger there, Paul.
I certainly hope it's not serious. I mean, he's been playing so well. He was out with a concussion at the beginning of the year. He only played a little bit in the last game. Had a tremendous game last weekend, and he had a good run there for 5 yards.
Williams picked up 5, and the trainer for St. FX is out looking at him right now. St. Mary's defense, very strong defense, Paul. Good hitters. They move up in the ball very, very quickly, closing in from the, I think it was, as a matter of fact, the defensive back that hit Williams in that play.
Yeah.
St. FX 2nd and 5.
He looks to be okay, Phil.
Let's go wide.
Fitzgerald in the fullback position and Stinson on the halfback position. Movement now. Motion by St. FX going to the left, starting to spread out. Gallant in a long count, looking for the quick pass over the middle. Incomplete. Pass intended for number 4, Jason Warren. And it didn't look like Warren was ready to catch that one, Paul.
No, Phil, it looked like it was a timing pass, and Warren wasn't there. JR came up and looked and threw the ball, and there was nobody there.
We have that on replay now. Luckily, there was no St. Mary's players in the area of that pass. It was overthrown regardless as to whether the receiver was open or not. Back to kick for St. FX, Andrew Gallant. Gallant has been doing the kicking for St. FX. This is his 2nd year, I believe, and doing a fairly good job. Snap is back, the kick is up, going against the wind. Catch by number 12, that's Curtis Nash. Nash trying to fight his way just past midfield into the 52, I think a 53-yard line of St. FX, where St. Mary's will field the ball 1st and 10.
Mark Chabra brought the receiver down on that particular play. Let's see what can happen here, what kind of a defense we set up.
Well, we have an injured St. FX player on the field. I don't have his number yet. But this is doesn't augur well, Paul. We've had 2 plays and 2 St. FX players have been hurt.
Yes. Just looking out in the field there, the St. Mary's starting offensive line seemed to be a pretty good-sized team.
Gord Beatty, I see Gord Beatty. Gord is working as the offensive coordinator, I believe, for St. Mary's. He's down talking to one of the players while there's timeout. Gord played his football here at St. FX and was an assistant coach for a number of years before moving up to Halifax with Blake Nill the year that Blake went up there. Steve Samara, I believe, went at that time. There's 3 or 4 former assistant coaches with St. FX now up with Blake at St. Mary's.
Not to forget Paul Furlan.
Paul Furlan. Well, Paul played his 1-year pro and decided that wasn't for him and came back. And he's doing a terrific job with special teams, I believe, is his main area of interest with St. Mary's right now. Up off the ground, Ricardo Charlotte, number 90, excellent football player for St. FX. Seems to have got his bell rung just a little bit. St. Mary's going to have the ball 1st and 10 on the St. FX 53-yard line. Jones, the quarterback. Shotgun position starting off with 6 receivers. 1 man in the backfield. Jones in the quick handoff off tackle, breaks free of 1 tackle, continue to move down the field. Excellent run there. Good deception by St. Mary's. Running number 34, Louis Perez. Perez, one of the better runners in the AUA.
A gain of 17 on that one, Phil. A good run.
Very, very quick. It was a slant off tackle right. He broke that first tackle by St. FX and was able to pick up substantial yardage. They now have 1st and 10, St. FX 36.
St. Mary's is spreading us right out by putting those receivers way out where they are.
Again, hand off to the middle. Not nearly as good stop right at the line of scrimmage. Again, handoff was going to Perez, but there looked like a little bit of a mix-up there. A little better defensive line work by St. FX.
No gain on that play, Phil. 2nd and 10.
Again, there is a fair wind blowing, and the wind will be to the advantage of St. Mary's here in the first quarter of today's game. No score. Ryan running out of shotgun. 5-man receivers in formation. Backfield. Louis Perez going to the end. Sends it back. Looks one way. Throws the ball back over the middle. Incomplete. A good pass. Timing pass. Pass was intended for St. Mary's wide receiver. Incomplete. Be 3rd down. 10 yards to go for St. Mary's. Good follow-up there. You can see the ball did skip along the ground before it got to the St. Mary's receiver.
It's not clear just yet whether they're going to try a field goal or whether they're going to punt. Oh, yeah, they are going to try a field goal.
Looks like a field goal. With the wind at his back, a field goal is in play. It will be about a 43-yard field goal.
Yes.
Number 14,
Breckenridge.
Chris Breckenridge will be attempting a 43-yard field goal for St. Mary's. Ball is up. Now the kick is up. It's certainly long enough, and it's good. St. Mary's off to a quick 3-zip score here in the first quarter of today's game. Breckenridge good on a 43-yard field goal. St. FX will take over possession of the ball on their own 35.
Nice field goal there, Phil. It was right, split the uprights middle.
And plenty of distance, Paul.
Plenty of distance.
No question about it. We got a repeat of it here. Started out to the right, used the wind to his advantage a little bit, came back inside. St. FX 1st and 10 on their own 35. Galanted quarterback. You have Fitzgerald again in the fullback situation. Looks like Williams is back in at halfback. Early motion by Warren, the slot. Long count. Gallant dropping back to pass. Throws a quick out. Almost intercepted. Good defensive play there by number 16, Josh LeBuck of St. Mary's. Gave it away too soon, Paul. He looked right where he's going to throw.
Exactly, Phil. It gave them time to move up, and he played it very well defensively.
So that could have been a real killer. When they intercept those ones, there's no one between catching the ball on the goal line. 2nd and 10 for St. FX in their own 35. Split wide. Number 15, Bart Ford. Glant with the ball, still running out of an I-back set. Johnson Pitch back to number 20, Williams. Williams trying to get outside and is hit by a host of St. Mary's defensive players. Excellent defensive work there by St. Mary's.
Yeah, it seemed that Williams could have cut inside a little sooner and there might have been a little more room, but he got caught around his own man in the backfield there, which probably explains why St. Mary's were able to come up and gang tackle him like that behind the line.
Loss of 3 in the play. St. FX will be kicking. Again, Andrew Gallant back for St. FX to do the kicking. Be kicking into the wind. Snap is back. Ball is up. End over end kick. Not a good kick. Heading towards the sidelines. Picked up by St. Mary's. Trying to move it to the other side. Good hustle there by St. FX. Not quite able to get it. Swinging around the corner. Being pursued. Finally brought down by number 29 of St. FX. That's Adam Stinson, running back, but just an excellent return by St. Mary's on that kick return.
They've certainly gained on that exchange. They are now at the St. FX 41-yard line.
St. Mary's, 1st and 10. St. FX, nothing going right now, Paul.
No, it doesn't seem. They like the jitters, Phil. It doesn't seem like they're really crisp just yet.
St. Mary's handoff, second man, right up the middle. Perez, the ball carrier for St. Mary's. Gain of probably 4.5, 5 yards. Going to be 2nd and 5 for St. Mary's on the St. FX 36-yard line. St. Mary's is doing it all, Paul. They've got a good backfield combination. Perez and Enrico Hakem right now is in there. Moving back, looking for that quick out to a wide open number 10 for Travis Potter.
Taken out by Richard Carey on that particular play.
Well-balanced attack by St. Mary's. They're catching St. FX. St. FX trying to settle into some type of rhythm, and St. Mary's is switching back and forth, run, pass, and doing an excellent job on it. 25-yard line, St. Mary's. 1st and 10, Ryan Jones. Quarterback, 2-man backfield. Looks like he may be calling a play on the line. Fake handoff. Kept the ball himself, moved the ball up about 8 yards. It's a bit of an option on that one, Paul. This is the first time I've seen St. Mary's using the option, but Jones did a terrific job at faking the pitch back and kept it himself for about 9 yards.
Yeah, he stood that defensive end right up. He didn't move. He was able to sneak right inside.
2nd down, about 2 yards to go for St. Mary's around the St. FX 16-yard line. Jones, a quarterback. Direct handoff right up the middle to Perez. Perez fights his way through, picks up that 1st down. St. Mary's moving off the ball exceptionally well, Paul.
Yeah, very fast off the ball. Phil, they're playing like a seasoned football team. Eh? It just looking so good and strong out there. They seem to be able to move it at will.
Ball spotted at the 12-yard line of St. FX. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 12. St. Mary's with a very good offensive drive taking place at present. Looks like we're having a timeout. St. Mary's.
Yeah, timeout called St. Mary's. Perhaps just a little bit of confusion there. Jones going over, looking for a little bit of advice from Gordy Beatty.
Good time to bring in a promo.
Class is celebrating their 5-year anniversaries.
St. FX football is being brought to you by Eastlink Community Television. Today's broadcast is being sponsored by Subway Restaurant, 46 James Street in Antigonish. Subway, the way a sandwich should be. 92 pounds.
92 pounds.
St. Mary's 1st and 10 on the St. FX 12-yard line. Jones fakes the handoff, drops back to pass, looks over the middle, wide open for Pat Thibault of St. Mary's. Touchdown, St. FX. I don't see any flags. Excellent delay play there by Thibault. Delayed across the middle, wide open, no one near him.
What made that play, Phil, I think, was Ryan Jones' fake. It gave him all kinds of time. Number 19 was able to go down and inside and cut right across. Nobody there to touch him. Beautifully thrown pass. A very nice touchdown.
See it going now. Good, excellent camera work. Picked Thibault going across right away. Very, very difficult to pick up something like that. Slot back. Has to be covered properly, but a good fake, as you said, by Jones. It pretty well held the linebackers in place just for a moment, and Thibault cutting across the middle for the touchdown. After the point after, now Breckenridge to kick. Ball is up and it's good.
It's
Score now, St. Mary's 10, St. FX no score. We have 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Paul, from what we can see right now, there's good reason why St. Mary's is ranked #1 in Canada.
Absolutely, Phil. And that series of downs right there, they just moved the ball pretty well at will. The offensive plays that were called caught us a little off guard, and that's all that's needed when you have the talent that they appear to have this year.
Well, St. Mary's will be kicking off to St. FX, leading 10-0. Breckenridge will be kicking for St. Mary's, and deep backs again for St. FX will be Williams and Stenson. St. FX is going to have to start moving something, Paul. If they're to attempt to stay into the game today, they're going to have to start doing something. I think that you're correct when we started a little bit of jitters and maybe a little bit tight about this being a homecoming game, but they're going to have to settle down and start playing good, solid football.
Yeah, for
Stenson
sure.
and Williams back. Kick is up. Back to the 5-yard line, picked up by Williams. Williams following his blocking, fakes to the inside. Going through, continue to run. Excellent run back by Matt Williams. St. FX takes it out to the 31-yard line, where St. FX will have 1st and 10 on their own 31.
Yeah, Trefton Bowlers took Williams down there, and if he hadn't, it looked like it was opening up, and he might have gotten a few more yards in that one, Phil. Good run back by Williams.
St. Mary's defense on the field. St. FX ready to go. Gallant at quarterback, still running that I situation with Stenson and Williams in the backfield. Gallant at quarterback. Early motion going across. Hand off to Williams. Williams off tackle. Brought down maybe after the a gain of 1 or 2. A good block there by the St. FX offensive tackle, but St. Mary's just sliding right into the hole as soon as they see the play move.
Yeah, it just seems like they have our offense well in charge, and they're able to react to it right away. As soon as Williams gets that ball, somebody moves up and fills that hole.
2nd down. Approximately 8 yards to go for a 1st down. Ball on the St. FX 32-yard line. Gallant calling the signals. Early motion by Warren. Gallant hands off to Williams. Stopped again right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2 downs and punt once again for St. FX.
Matt Demers was there before he touched the ball, it seemed, Phil, that time. Bang, he just hit him. Nowhere to go. A loss of a yard on it. 3rd down and 11.
Gallant, that's Andrew Gallant going into punt for St. FX. Receiver, deep receivers for St. Mary's, number 12, Curtis Nash. And I can't see the one on the far side, Paul. Gallant kicking towards the sidelines, and kicks it out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Trying to angle it. They're going to settle on about the 50-yard line.
50-yard line.
St. FX. St. Mary's will have the ball 1st and 10 on the St. FX 50.
This is the time the defense has to come up big. We can't let these fellas go down and score another touchdown. Like you were saying before, jitters is one thing, but if they get up by 2 touchdowns here, or 10, it just might be a too big a point differential to overcome.
St. Mary's 1st and 10. Ryan Jones at quarterback. Louis Perez, Aiken back, handoff to Perez. Perez breaks off tackle.
Perez.
Taking the ball all the way down, finally forced out of bounds by St. FX.
Knocked out of bounds on the far side by Kerry Perry.
That was a 33-yard gain by Perez that time.
Spotted at the 17-yard line.
Again, he could have driven a truck through that hole. It was very well. Run by the offensive line, giving him all kinds of time. And you give Perez any kind of opening like that, he's going to hurt you.
Excellent blocking. St. Mary's has a good, solid offensive line. Move off the ball very, very well. Opened up a hole, and Perez took advantage of that immediately. Again, the option play by Jones. Jones keeps the ball, cuts inside, picks up about 8 yards once again. Again, when they run the option ball, everyone has to take their assignment. Everyone has a certain person to cover, and normally the defensive end is in charge of the quarterback. That may not be the case. I'm not sure what defense is being employed, but whoever is in charge of the quarterback isn't there.
That's right, Phil. And the last 2 times he's decided to go, he's been free to go wherever he wanted.
2nd and 3. St. Mary's has the ball on the St. FX 10-yard line. Once again, threatening with a quick score here in the first quarter. 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. Handoff to Perez of St. Mary's, and stopped almost immediately by a solid play in the defense, particularly number 7 of St. FX. We have a St. Mary's player down on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 3 for St. Mary's. One of the St. Mary's offensive linemen are down, Paul. I didn't catch the number, but going in, number 68. That's Paul Archer. Coming in is Doug Borden to replace him. Paul, we've got a beautiful day for football.
We sure do, and the people here for homecoming seem to appreciate it. The stands are quite full, and everybody seems to be enjoying themselves, even though I'm sure the partisan St. FX fans are a little disappointed we aren't scoring a few points, but there's still lots of time left in the game, Phil.
Well, there certainly is. It was an important play, that last play for St. FX. They were able to stop Perez right on the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 2, and the decision now is going to be whether to go for first down or go for another field goal. Gordy Beatty talking to his quarterback, Ryan Jones. Jones is going back in, so it looks as if they will be going for the touchdown, which is a good play by St. Mary's this early. Even if they're stopped, St. FX would have to take over possession very deep in their own end.
Exactly, and not only that, is they have a 10-point cushion as it is right now that they appear to be very confident with, and they're moving the ball with great efficiency right now. So.
Big situation here now. St. Mary's with the ball, 3rd and 3 on the St. FX 10-yard line. Jones pitches back. Ball going to the outside. He's going to pick up, go all the way through for touchdown, St. Mary's. A good play. I think everyone was expecting an off-tackle play. A pitch back by St. Mary's to Louis Perez. Perez takes it in for a touchdown.
And again, Phil, the offensive line did a tremendous job there, keeping St. FX at bay and allowing Perez to run outside pretty well at will.
Replay is on. We have Perez, a good view of Perez, excellent blocking, clear hole. Erico Hackham was the last person out there blocking, but again, every man for St. FX was covered by a St. Mary's player. The play developed perfectly for St. Mary's. Breckenridge will be going for the point after. Ball is down, kick is up, it's good. 17, St. Mary's, no score for St. FX. Breckenridge coming off the field has an excellent football. He gets the ball up very, very quickly over the line. He's got pretty good distance. That field goal shows that he does have the leg to get the long one when he has to. And again, it just rounds out the strength that we have with the St. Mary's offensive display. They're just terrific, both passing and running. They're putting on a display of football that we haven't seen the likes of for a while.
Yeah, that kicking game, of course, gives any team an extra confidence level simply because they know if they get within a 45-yard range, especially with the wind, they're able to score some points.
Breckenridge teeing up the ball. St. FX preparing for the run back. We have 5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter of today's game. Score, St. Mary's 17, St. FX no score. Breckenridge set to kick. Everything seems set. Ball is up again, going down to the 10-yard line, picked up by Williams. Williams taking off right away, trying to find an opening, keeps on fighting, but St. Mary's players all over the place, able to pick up maybe 7 yards, and St. FX is going to be taking possession of the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 21.
Matt Fox wrapped them up pretty quickly there and didn't give him a chance to break loose and perhaps pick up a few more yards. St. Mary seems to be very crisp and sharp today.
St. FX 1st and 10. Gallant over center. Stinson and Williams in the backfield. Stinson, handoff is to Williams off tackle. Linebacker that time, number 2, that's Matt Demers for St. Mary's, sliced right through that, Paul, and made the hit just as Williams got to the line of scrimmage.
Well, in fact, Phil, the last series of plays, St. FX had the ball. He did the exact same thing. It appears as if Demers has been given the job of shadowing whoever is in the backfield at that tailback position. And the last 2 times, he's been right in the backfield.
And he's quick and a solid tackler.
Yes, he is.
2nd down. Little over 9 yards to go for 1st down. Gallant calling the signals. Fakes the handoff, rolling out to his left. Being pursued and brought down by Kyle Morrison. That's a defensive end for St. Mary's.
It could be a fumble here, Phil.
Morrison was on Gallant and matching him step for step. It looks as if no one hit Morrison at all.
No, and amazingly how quickly he got over there to get a hold of him. He must have burst right through there.
We do have a player down. Looks like he's getting up now.
That was the ball carrier, Williams.
St. FX was going to be forced to punt once again. Lost in the play of about 5, maybe 6 yards. So it's going to be 3rd down and 26 or 27 yards for St. FX. Andrew Gallant will be doing the punting. St. FX offensive line, the whole blocking scheme is going to have to improve tremendously in order for them to run any type of offense.
Well, either that or St. Mary's is going to have to make some mistakes, and right now they don't appear to be doing that.
St. FX conceding a safety, which is not, with the wind is seems to be affecting everything that's taking place. I didn't think it would, but it seems to be. The best St. FX could have hoped for was, even with a good kick, St. Mary's would have taken the ball probably on the St. FX 30 or 25-yard line.
Exactly. Every time the ball has exchanged, we've been getting deeper and deeper and deeper into our zone, even after St. Mary's scores. So there definitely is an advantage here at this particular time. Even though we kick the ball off, we're going to be able to get it deep down into their zone.
The officials are talking to Jones, Ryan Jones of St. Mary's, probably determine what's going to take place. Safety against St. FX. St. FX will be kicking. 2-point safety for St. Mary's. That makes the score 19, is it, Paul? 19-0 for St. Mary's. St. FX will be kicking off.
They would like to invite everyone to their all-you-can-eat lunch on
Kicking
Saturday
off
and
for
Sunday,
St.
11 a.m.
FX.
to 3 p.m. Today, they would like to invite everyone to their homecoming daily from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. featuring
St. FX kicking off.
Ashley McIsaac.
Number 12, Curtis Nash is back for St. Mary's. Kicking off is Chris Arnold. Squib kick down the field, picked up by St. Mary's. Looking for some blocking, picked up by number 21, Chris Fietz. Slot back for St. Mary's. Moves the ball back to the 47-yard line, where they'll have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 47. Well, Paul, we said last time St. FX defense is going to have to settle down. It's do or die now with 3 minutes and 20 seconds. We have a 19-0 lead by St. Mary's here in the first quarter of today's game.
Yes, Phil, I have to agree with you there. The big thing for them, if they could only stop this offensive once and get the ball in good field position.
Handoff again right up the middle. That's Dean Jones carrying the ball, picked up of about 12 yards, 11 yards, and it's going to be another first down for St. Mary's. St. Mary's spreading the field right out. They have 5-6 receivers. We have Jones just going off tackle now. Again, an excellent run. Big hole was there for St. Mary's running back Dean Jones. Jones in the ball game. Ryan Jones at quarterback, Dean Jones at halfback position, pitch back to Jones. Jones going around the outside, gets around the corner, breaks one tackle, able to pick up about 3 yards, maybe 4 yards. Second down and approximately 6 yards for St. Mary's. Another good running back for St. Mary's.
And it's one of the things they're able to do when they get this kind of a cushion, and they have 3 or 4 good running backs that can hurt you at any time. So the way things are right now, unless we can stop them, they're going to...
Saw perfectly in that replay how St. Mary's is able to collapse the corner and swing around, and they're going to be able to pick up 5 or 6 yards every time it happens. Jones back in shotgun position, dropping back to pass, looking over the middle. Ball intended for number 80, Paul Fleming. Incomplete. High pass. Incomplete. Good hit there by St. FX defensive back. Going to be third down.
The ball was just a little overthrown. He was above him that time. He had a chance to bring that in, but he wasn't able to. If he had, he would have been hit right away anyway, Phil.
And he wouldn't. I don't think he would have had the first down. St. FX defense did toughen up. They did what they had to do in that point. And they will now be receiving the kick from St. Mary's.
Back for St. Mary's, number 82. Or for St. FX, I should say, I'm sorry. Number 82, Chris Costello. And number 13, Mike Carroll.
Ball goes to Costello. He's having difficulty picking it up. He's hit right on the 1-yard line and brought down. I don't believe it's a safety.
He seemed to lose it in the sun there, Phil. He looked up and all of a sudden the ball was there.
Looks like they're giving them a single. We'll get a replay. Hopefully we'll get a replay on that one.
It appears as if he might have been pushed into the end zone from our vantage point. They're saying he stepped into the end zone, obviously. Single point. Here it is.
Here it is here. We see the ball bouncing around. Can't quite see the ball. He finally picks it up.
He doesn't seem to be in the end zone. He was thrown in.
I'm not sure. It's hard to tell on the replay. Anyways, it is a single. St. FX has the ball 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line. St. Mary's 20. St. FX no score. Handoff to Williams. Williams trying to go off tackle, picks up maybe 2 yards, and we have a flag coming in on the play.
I think that's the first flag of the game, Phil.
I believe so, Paul. It's been a very good, clean, crisp football game, and I'm not sure what happens here.
Against St. FX. Objectionable conduct against St. FX.
Big penalty.
That's a 10-yard penalty, moving the ball back. That'll give them 2nd and 10.
No, it'll give them 2nd and about 18.
That's right.
It's from the point where the ball ended up, so after the game, probably gained about 2. So it's second down, 18 yards to go for St. FX on their own 27-yard line.
Let's go, boys, right now.
Gallant at quarterback for St. FX. Quick movement, handoff off tackle to Williams, and Williams is hit again in the backfield by St. Mary's. St. Mary's linebackers just slicing right through any opening at all and stopping the play behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looks almost as if there are missed assignments, or they're throwing a defense at St. FX that the offensive line don't seem to be able to react to, because when Demers can get in like he has on 2 occasions, and in that particular case there was nobody even seemed to touch that fella.
St. FX once again will be kicking. Andrew Gallant. 51 seconds. The 1-minute flag is up for the first quarter of today's game. St. Mary's 20, St. FX no score. Gallant gets off a poor kick. Might have been touched a little bit. The poor kick, the ball only doesn't even make the original, makes the original line of scrimmage. And it's going to be St. Mary's with the ball, 1st and 10 on the St. FX 35-yard line. 37 seconds left in the first quarter of today's game. St. Mary's 20, St. FX no score. 1st and 10, St. Mary's. St. Mary's spread across the field, lone back in the backfield. Dean Jones moves back up. Ryan Jones throws the ball interception for St. FX, and he drops the ball. Picked up. Now it's going to be whether they give it an interception by St. FX and a fumble recovery, and we have flags all over the field right now.
It appears that some of the St. FX players didn't like the way the St. Mary's player grabbed the ball. Be interesting to see what calls they have here, Phil, who it'll be against.
Well, the one thing we do know is, well, here we go with the replay. The ball is up, and it is going to be intercepted. He has control of the ball, starts to run, and then loses control. The ball goes down, and St. FX number 4, that's Jason Warren, picks up the ball. So St. FX recovers the fumble. Now we have objectionable conduct called on top of that. It's against St. Mary's. So St. FX, after all the smoke clears, is going to have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 38-yard line. Good defensive play there.
Good defensive play. Number 45 just picked that. He seemed to be right where he was supposed to be. Mike McCullough made a really nice interception there. Unfortunately, he dropped it, but number 4 was there, Jason Warren, to pick it up, and St. FX gets the ball 1st and 10.
You have a bit of a conference going on now between the officials and both teams. Probably just to tell everybody to slow it down. No more of the foolishness, no fighting anything. We've got a beautiful day for a game of football. Let's just play football. I think that's what he's doing, telling both sides to take it easy, play good, solid football. That's what we're here for.
Exactly, Phil. Well, there has been some animosity between these two football teams because a couple of situations last year, but it has been a good game. I mean, it's only in the last 3 or 4 minutes that we've seen a flag at all on the field.
Well, we have about 10 to 13 seconds to go here in the first quarter of today's game. St. FX with the ball.
If they can hold on to it here, Phil, they'll have the wind advantage.
This should be the last play of the first quarter of today's game. Gallant calling the signals for St. FX. St. FX making the move. Handoff up the middle to that is the end of the first quarter. St. FX picked up about 3, maybe 4 yards on that play.
That was a straight ahead dive that time, Phil, and a lot of determination on the part of the running back. I never got his number. I'm not sure who carried it that time, but he worked pretty hard at that particular play.
It looked like Fitzgerald. It looked like, I thought I saw a 4 there, so that it would be Marcus Fitzgerald of St. FX. Into the first quarter, St. Mary's 20, St. FX no score. couple of the St. FX players looking on from the sideline. Blake Neal talking to the officials, trying to find out exactly what happened, I think, what transpired in that last series. Blake being told to calm down, Paul. Blake doesn't seem happy.
For some reason, Phil, Blake feels that something either was missed or something occurred that shouldn't have, and he feels the officials are not doing the job they should. Look, he's still following him out there on the football field.
You better be careful. You can only go out so far. Seems to have gotten it all straightened out. John Stevens looking down, trying to find out what's happening there. What we do know is happening is St. FX has the ball. Second down, approximately 6 yards to go on their own
42-yard line, yes.
St. FX will have the wind at their back for this quarter, and we'll see if that helps them in any way. Movement by St. FX. Long count, handoff, trying to go off tackle, but Williams is hit right away by a horde of St. Mary's tacklers. Gain of the play of it. The most one is going to be 3rd down and 5. So once again, St. FX will be forced to punt. Andrew Glant going in to do the punting chores for St. FX, going back for St. Mary's, Curtis Nash for the punt return. Third down, about 4 yards to go. Andrew Glant will be kicking for St. FX. Snap is back, good kick. Ball going over to the right. Kicks it, angles it out of bounds, and it appears to go out of bounds
on the 30-yard line, Phil. Marking on the 30.
St. Mary's will have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line. John Stevens rooting the team on, telling them to get ready. Defense once again is out on the field.
This is a time where it would be good if they could hold them to 3 downs here, or 2 downs and a punt. Try to regain some of the field position we lost in that first quarter.
1st and 10, St. Mary's. Ryan Jones still in the quarterback, along with Dean Jones and Louis Perez as his running backs. As 3 wide spread right, handoff to Louis Perez. Perez trying to get around the corner, lowers his head and moves into a St. FX player. Pick up of about 6 yards, maybe 7 yards. Going to be 2nd down and 3 yards to go.
Yeah, Perez ran right into Chris Arnold, and fortunately Arnold was able to bring him down there, but he still managed to pick up 7 yards.
Again, we see the blocking. We also see a little bit of holding on the part of St. Mary's. St. FX number 2, Chris Arnold, found out who Louis Perez was in a hurry on that one, Paul.
Did he ever?
Landed on his butt.
Fortunately, he got right up again. There he goes again. His head down, he's just pounding forward. Should be awful close to a 1st down there, Phil.
I think he's past the 1st down mark. A good hard power running there by Louis Perez, a veteran running back for St. Mary's. He's been a stalwart running back for St. Mary's for the last few years.
He has indeed. And the thing about it, Phil, is he's not only a good, strong, hard, forward, tough-nosed one. He's got speed as well. You give him a chance and he's gone.
St. Mary's 1st and 10 on their own 41-yard line. Ryan Jones calling the signals. Hands off to Louis Perez, going off the left side. He's breaking free. We just talked about the speed. Now we're seeing the speed you talked about, Paul. Perez should go all the way. He does. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Louis Perez.
Now you talk about a nice offensive play there. Jones faked one way and gave to Perez going the other, and our defense unfortunately had gone with the first move, leaving that big hole, and Perez just scampered all the way down the field for a touchdown.
A little bit prophetic there for you, Paul. You said that one thing that Perez did have, along with his strength, is his speed, and we saw an example of that there. We see him moving down 3 St. FX players in pursuit, and Jones, who's really a hard-nosed fullback, halfback type, is able to keep on going all the way in for a touchdown. Finally pulled down by Richard Karakari of St. FX. Again, another touchdown up to 26. And the point after is blocked by St. FX. Scored just into the second quarter of today's game. St. Mary's 26, St. FX no score.
That is the third time that St. FX has come very close to blocking those after touchdown kicks.
If you have any questions or comments about this show or any other programming on Eastlink Community Television, please call our viewer response line. You can reach us toll-free at 1-888-354-8439.
We have the men's rugby Division 2. The Cultural College playing St. FX.
12:51 left in the second quarter of today's game. Score is St. FX
St. FX
25.
St. Mary's 25, St. FX no score at this point.
Oh, that's 26, I believe, Paul.
26, I'm sorry.
Ever since you retired from teaching, Paul, your ciphering has gone downhill. I want you to realize that.
Exactly. Not only that, as I was a history teacher, not a math teacher.
St. Mary's will be kicking off. St. FX receiving Stenson. We have Williams and Stenson, I believe, back for St. FX. Kickoff, the ball is up. Shortish type kick picked up by St. FX. St. FX player puts his head down, just moves forward, moves it up to the St. FX 35-yard line.
Yeah, Chris Johnson took that one and was able to move it forward a few yards, giving St. FX a 1st and 10 on their own 34-yard line.
Well, we're going to have to see some offensive power by St. FX. St. FX is going to have to start moving that ball, or else they're going to find themselves really, really in bad shape, Paul. It's a young team. We know it's a young team. We know St. Mary's is the #1 team in the nation, but we're hoping to see more from St. FX than we have up to this point.
Yeah, agreed, Phil. Agreed.
Grant calling the signals, taking his time, looking for that quick pass, puts it out wide for a gain of approximately 5 yards, and a couple of big hits put on by St. Mary's defensive backs. A little bit slow in developing there, Paul.
Yeah, and the thing was, St. Mary's were able to react to that immediately, and as soon as he touched that ball, there was a fella hit him high and a fella hit him low. He was tough to get up as quickly as he did.
Now, number 13, Carroll, he picks up the ball, but as soon as he does, he's hit by 2 St. Mary's defenders, gaining the play of about 5. It will be 2nd and 5 for St. FX. Gallant calling the signals. Long play, hands off to Matt Williams off tackle. Williams moves up about 3 yards, but he's going to be shy by about 2 for that 1st down.
Williams, the ball carrier.
St. FX once again is going to have to kick. Andrew Gallant will be going in to kick for St. FX.
Whatever is happening on the offensive line there, Phil, they seem to be able to key immediately as soon as we get that ball. Our slants and our dives and even our little pitches around the corner seem to be stopped. They're reacting to them immediately.
St. FX will be kicking. Ball goes back to Gallant, takes...
there when we watched him in the 1st quarter.
Time, ball snap back.
Well,
St. FX just misses. The ball is short, wide to the left. St. FX goes down and takes the ball on one knee. They'll concede the single. St. FX came about as close as you can come to blocking that field goal attempt.
Yeah, not only that, the placer did a tremendous job. That ball was very high. He went up with one hand, picked it up, pulled it down, and gave Breckenridge a chance at possibly putting it up.
He must have, the St. FX guy must have gotten a little bit of a piece out of it, Paul. Otherwise, there would have been a roughing the kicker penalty.
Yeah, you would think.
Because the St. FX player just wiped out the St. Mary's kicker. So if he did that's what I'm thinking, especially the way the ball went. He might have got a bit of a hand on the ball. If he does touch the ball, then hitting the kicker is not considered roughing the kicker, and the play would go on from there. St. FX gives up 1 point. We're now up to 27 for St. Mary's, 0 for St. FX, and St. FX has the ball on their own 35-yard line. St. FX still running the I formation. Early movement by Warren. Gallant hands the ball back to his halfback, who is met just at the line of scrimmage by 4 or 5 St. Mary's football players. Going to have to be a little more inventive than that, I think, Paul.
Yeah, that seems to be the problem right now, is that the plays that they're running are the same plays. It's like we don't have any depth in terms of the plays that we can run against these fellas. Like, I haven't seen a screen pass or something else just to spread St. Mary's out. The way things are now, St. Mary's just staying tucked in.
Second down, 11 yards to go for St. FX. Gallant goes back, quick hitter over the middle to number 4, Jason Warren, but that only picks up about 2 yards. It's going to be third down and 8 yards to go. St. FX once again will be forced to kick. Not sure what kind of arm Gallant has, Paul. I've seen a couple of short passes, but we've seen nothing of any length.
Not today, Phil, though I felt in the first game that they played against St. Mary's here at the Olin Center, he threw a couple of passes, nice crisp passes that went 15, 17 yards. I think he's quite capable of doing it.
Gallant back to kick. Ball's up.
That was tipped.
Tipped a little bit, but getting a good bounce for St. FX. St. Mary's does pick up the ball. St. Mary's starting to close in and finally bring down the St. Mary's receiver. That's Nash. And Nash is brought down by 3 or 4 St. FX players. Excellent hustle by St. FX punt team on that.
Yeah, they seem to be doing a lot more gang tackling. Maybe they're getting over some of those jitters we were talking about, and they're getting into the game. They seem to be controlling the at least the specialty area a little better than they were, Phil.
And surprisingly, I'd say the defense is also, except they're getting stung by the big play. They seem to be stopping the regular motion and so forth, and all of a sudden, boom, St. Mary's will run, what I'd call the big play, whether it be Jones, 1 or 2 tackles would be broken, and St. Mary's would be gone to the races. First and 10, St. Mary's. Handoff to Jones, coming back through, stopped right at the line of scrimmage. But again, a different look. We have a shotgun formation. Jones split wide, comes back through against the flow of the play, but St. FX was right on the ball with that.
That time they reacted very, very well to that.
We see that here now on the playback. So we're going to have a gain of 2. Second down, 8 yards to go. Jones once again back in the shotgun. St. Mary's with their receivers spread wide across the field. Second and 8. Jones plenty of time. Ball goes to number 19. Coming across the middle, that's Pat Tebow, but he's picked up right away by St. FX. It'll be short of the first down, which is going to be a third down, 3 yards to go for St. Mary's.
That time, the St. FX were able to get the receiver, but he was wide open. I don't know if we're in a zone defense or what we are, but nobody was anywhere near him. It was just a matter of putting the ball in his arms. Fortunately, somebody came up and took him down before he had a first down.
We're going to have third down and approximately 3 yards to go. St. Mary's will be kicking back deep for St. FX. Number 13, Mike Carroll.
And number 1, Richard Carey. This Carey, Phil, has a lot of speed.
Again, St. FX got in quickly. Looked as if they were going to have a good shot at blocking that punt. If there's an area that St. Mary's is going to have to tighten up on, it's their blocking for their point afters, field goals, and certainly the punch there. A couple of St. FX players got right through there. One of them probably should have been able to block that punt.
Yeah, they have a couple of fellas that are almost willing to, sacrifice the body to try to block the punt. They just dive right through the air. Like I said earlier on, in the point after, there were at least one was blocked, and there were two that were nearly blocked.
St. FX 1st and 10 on their own 43-yard line. J.R. Gallant, quarterback for St. FX. A lot of motion by X. Fakes the handoff to Williams, throws the ball out to the sidelines to number 74. Excellent play there by St. FX, number 34, Marcus Fitzgerald. Nice play there, Paul.
Very nice play, Phil. Now I think that's what we've been needing here. Just something to get the fellas to come to the realization that they can move the ball.
Good job there by Fitzgerald. He gets the ball in the open. He turns his body up the field. He keeps on fighting, keeps on moving, and is finally brought down. Big hit by St. Mary's. St. FX 1st and 10 for the first time on the St. Mary's side of midfield. Gallant throwing the quick ball once again, almost picked off. Ball was intended for SMU-42 and number 7 for Aruda. Aruda had a touchdown, Paul. We can
Absolutely.
see it here in the playback. Gallant looks right to where he's going to throw and throws it right to where he's pointing. And Aruda, again, would have been gone to the races.
Absolutely. I think Aruda could see the end zone before he had the ball in his grasp that time.
That's why he plays defense and not offense. Second down, 10 yards to go for St. FX. Still in the I formation. Warren in motion early. Handoff to Matt Williams, but Williams is picked up. A little bit of a draw play there, Paul. That good play by St. Mary's number 49, who was able to pick up the St. FX player. Otherwise, Williams would have broken away. We have a good view of it here. We see the draw motion, good blocking thing on, and that one player for St. Mary's was able to stay back and got a hold of Williams, bringing him down after a gain of 2.
Yeah, that was really close to breaking open. I still expect that Williams is going to break for a long run here yet. He's been close a couple of times.
2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. St. FX 3rd down, 8 yard. They'll be kicking from the St. Mary's 52-yard line. Ball is back. Grant gets the ball up. Good height on the ball down to Nash, 21. That's Fietz. He's going wide to the outside, being chased and finally chased out of bounds by a slew of St. FX players and moved out of bounds on the, looks like the 13-yard line. Good coverage there by St. FX.
Good coverage, and also there was some very good, a couple of really nice blocks thrown there by St. Mary's against some of the St. FX players trying to pick up that run back.
See it here, Fietz, good speed in Fietz, but excellent pursuit on the part of St. FX, number 90, Ricardo Charlotte. Number 9, Mark Chabra. St. Mary's 1st and 10 on their own 12-yard, 13-yard line. Handoff to
Perez.
Perez off tackle. It continues to run. Excellent runner. Almost brought down. Finally brought down at the 52-yard line. Perez, just absolutely terrific running on that ball.
Phil, he seemed to be able to go where he wanted on that particular play, and when a St. FX player was there, unfortunately they weren't able to grasp him. The legs were pumping and he was just going at full tilt.
I've got close up there. It looks like he's holding his elbow, looks like or his arm. That'll be too bad. He's just had a terrific game at running. I mean, you don't see better running than we just saw on that play, and we're having that in replay right now. Just basically direct handoff off tackle. He moves to the other side, following his blocking. Good block there by St. Mary's. Follows it all the way through, and he's gone. But he just keeps on going. We don't have a St. FX. He sees the man coming in, pushes off probably the best tackler that I've seen, that's Kerry for St. FX. Kerry's been making some terrific tackles, and he was just pushed out of the way by Perez.
Yes.
1:50 left in the first half of the game. St. Mary's 1st and 10 on their own 51-yard line. Hand off to Jones. Jones picked up about 4 yards. Again, fake to the first man, just basically an off-tackle play. Good short yard gainer there by St. Mary's. Pickup of 4. Going to be second down, a little bit more than 5, maybe 6 yards to go for the second down. Again, good solid running by St. Mary's back. They have 2 excellent backs. Well, Jones, we've seen him, the speed and the power of Jones, and certainly Louis Perez, who's just had a terrific game up to this point. Fakes the handoff, bringing the slot around on the outside. Good job there by Pat Tebow. Once again, that's counter slot around. Picks up about 11, 12 yards. It's going to be 1st and 10 for St. Mary's on the St. FX 44-yard line. 1 minute, 12, 11, 1 minute, 10 seconds left to go here in the first half of today's game. The score, St. Mary's 27, St. FX no score. Ryan Jones at quarterback. Dean Jones at halfback. Fakes the handoff, throws the ball outside. Picked up.
I didn't notice it before, Phil. Jones seems to throw the ball sidearm. That time he was able to get that ball a good 30 yards sidearm right over to his receiver that time. If they show it here, watch his arm here.
Yeah, a bit of a side.
Bit of a sidearm there.
Sidearm, overhand, doesn't matter. First down, St. Mary's. And they're going to have the ball on their own 34-yard, or the St. FX 34-yard line. 40 seconds left to go here in the first half. St. Mary's 27, St. FX no score. Jones hands off to Dean Jones. Ryan Jones to Dean Jones. Dean Jones breaks that first tackle. Continues to go down. It's going to be very close to a first down.
Mike McCullough, good pursuit right there to take him out of bounds, keep him from getting that first down. There's 37 seconds left in the first half.
Dean Jones picked up about 8 yards. It's going to be second down and 2 yards to go for St. Mary's. 37 seconds left to go in the first half of today's game. Jones calling the play, fakes off, hands off the ball to number 34. Louis Perez is back in the game. Ball goes all the way up to the 20-yard line. Going to be 1st and 10 for St. Mary's on the 20-yard line. St. Mary's no huddle offense right now. There's 31 seconds, 32 seconds left to go. 1st and 10 for St. Mary's on their own, on the St. FX 20-yard line. Fakes the handoff, looking over the middle, ball wide open to Tebow. Tebow brought down on about the 8-yard line. Paul, as ardent a St. FX supporter I am, this offense is just wonderful to watch of St. Mary's. They're just moving the ball down one right after the other. Beautifully called offensive football game so far for
Absolutely, Phil. You couldn't have said it any better, and I agree with you 100%. They're using every aspect of the game, and they're keeping St. FX off their game. Defensive play there that time.
Good defensive play there for St. FX, and an excellent call, just a spot pass by Ryan Jones to his wide receiver, number 31. It's going to be second down, and it looks like they're going to be sending the field goal team, Paul. There's 3 seconds left to go in the first half of today's game, so they're sending in the field goal unit to pick up another 3 points.
Well, if they do, they'll leave the field with a 30-0 score, which gives them a very strong cushion, unfortunately, at this time, if you're a St. FX supporter.
3 seconds left to go. Going for a field goal Taking the time, long count, ball is down, it's up, its kick is up, and it's good. And that is the last play of the first half of today's football game.
The score at the end of the first half of this football game, St. Mary's 30, St. FX no score.
Well, Paul, we have a first half that has been completely and absolutely dominated by St. Mary's, both offensively and defensively.
Yes, I'll be actually quite interested, Phil, to hear some of the statistics or read some of the statistics of the first half. I'm quite sure that we expect a lot of offense from St. Mary's, but I'd be interested to see whether we were able to generate any offense at all.
We have up there the score, St. Mary's 30, St. FX no score. We're going to a PSA commercial now with the score at the end of the first half. St. Mary's 30, St. FX no score.
In the first half, we came out hard, fired up, ready to play. Last week, offense came out kind of flat, so this week we wanted offense to come out harder, and they came out hard. Defense, we just came out to play.
Your defensive line is really quite extremely strong today. They're not really conceding anything, are they?
No, not really. We got Dougie, we got Eric, we got Bruce filling in for Irwin, and defensive line is just playing superb today.
This team really seems to have it together. You really seem to, I was here during the warm-ups. I've been watching you guys on the bench during the first half. You really are a team. You're really together. You're one of the biggest cheerleaders on the bench. When you're not on the field, you're there getting everybody pumped up and keeping the team. Half the time they're all lined up on the sidelines watching the play. What's the reason for that? Is that the coaches or is that just everybody?
Basically, we're just like family. Most of the guys were here for like 3 years, some guys 4 years. We all came in at the same time, and we just grew together and gelled together, and we just want to go out and win a Vanier Cup.
And that leads into my next question. Just how good is this squad? Can they go all the way?
Well, I don't think we reached our peak yet, but I think we can probably go all the way.
The X-Men seem to not want to kick the ball to you guys today. The one time you did get a ball, you ran into heavy traffic, yeah. But for whatever reason, they're not prepared to face your return game.
Well, last time we played here, we had a couple of good runs. I had a good run. Fates ran back a touchdown. Last week against Acadia, we had a couple of good runs, and maybe they just don't want to kick to us. I'm not sure.
All right, in the second half, what can we expect to see?
We're just going to come out fired like the first half.
Great, Curtis. Thanks very much for making time. I'll give you, give you a chance to get a bit of a break.
All right.
That's it from down here at the field. We're going to send you back up to Paul and Phil in the booth upstairs.
The score, obviously, is St. FX with 267. But as we just mentioned, in the first half alone, Perez is 198 yards carried. And why they have such a absolutely wonderful offense to watch.
The thing is with St. Mary's, I find too, Phil, is they have a variety of offense. Whoever is doing the scouting for them up top, or however their game plan goes, they're not just running one play 3 or 4 or 5 times. They're using a diversity of plays, keeping us off balance and making the rest of their game work. Whenever we seem to be stopping the running play, then they throw a nice pass, or they seem to be spreading us out very well. They seem to be very well prepared today.
Well, we're getting ready for the second half. It looks like there's about 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go here in the halftime itself. It's important to let you know and to repeat that St. FX football is being brought to you by Eastlink Community Television. Also, to let you know of the sponsors, today's broadcast is being sponsored by Subway Restaurant, 46 James Street in Antigonish. Subway, the way a sandwich should be. If you have any questions or comments about this show or any other programming on Eastlink Community Television, please call out your response line. You can reach us toll-free at 1-888-354-8439. And while we're on that, be sure to tune in to Plugged In, a news magazine show about the people and events in your community, right here on Eastlink Community Television. It looks as if we're going to be starting off the second half the same way we started the first half. St. FX will be kicking to St. Mary's. St. Mary's will be defending the football, the end to our right, and St. Mary's will be kicking against the wind. Basically the exact same, I believe, the same way they started.
Actually, complete opposite. They had the wind in the first half.
St. Mary's?
Yes.
They still do.
Okay, I'm sorry. In other words, they're receiving from the right here.
Yes.
Okay.
Score at the end of the first half, St. Mary's 30. St. Mary's 30. St. FX, no score. Homecoming crowd here. It was interesting, they mentioned a little bit at halftime when they were discussing with Kevin Artichuk the article that was in today's paper concerning the feasibility and/or possibility of the Atlantic Football Conference joining up with the Quebec Intercollegiate League. Very, very interesting article. If it were to come about, and I certainly hope it does, it would increase football, I think, university football and the image of university football tremendously around here. To bring in 4 new teams, I think any league that just has 4 teams, it's very, very difficult where you have to play the same teams week in and week out. I believe one of the proposals was, starting off anyways, that each team would play the other teams in their league in one home and home, and they'd play one of the teams in the Quebec League. The 2 Ontario teams in the Quebec League right now, the OQ, UF, trying to get into the Ontario Football League. So that's what's opening up. Would end up with 2 leagues, football leagues, if that were to take place, with only 4 teams. And it's a natural, even in closeness. Again, the big prevailing thing is going to be cost.
Exactly, Phil. That's probably, if there's anything that might be a deterrent, will be the issue of sending 50 football players, coaches, and all that is involved in a team. Even if you had to do it 4 times, I have no idea what it costs to make a trip like that, but it would certainly be a drain or on the money that the team would have to work with, unless, of course, they were able to find money other ways to do this.
And I think that's what, if they want it to become a reality, that's what they'd have to do. They'd have to go into some type of corporate sponsorship, because you're looking at probably 5 times the cost as it would be for a regular game against a team in your own league. I think it's about $1,800 for approximate cost in your own league, and you'd be looking at close to $6,000 and to play a game. One of the teams to go up to Quebec, wherever it might be, or to play down here. But it'd be a terrific boon to football in Eastern Nova Scotia, really, in what the CBC like to call Eastern Canada.
Eastern Canada, exactly. No, I like yourself. I think it would be wonderful. I think everybody would benefit from it. The teams would benefit from it. It probably would help a great deal in terms of recruiting.
Absolutely.
And keeping teams, even and very competitive. I certainly would like to see it. There's no question.
Everyone's been waiting for Noah. Noah was probably in watching basketball. By Noah, St. FX basketball players traditionally do the sticks at the St. FX game, a way to pick up a couple dollars for themselves. And Noah must be as pleased as punch and as proud as can be of the Canadian national team and the way they played in the Olympics. He was the final cut on that team and had a terrific span of time being with them, and did a wonderful job. Came extremely close to being down in Australia with them. St. FX will be kicking off. It's a dribble kick right up the middle. Picked up by St. Mary's, trying to take it up, runs into one of his own players, and finally is brought down by a swarm of St. FX football players.
Well, the sun is kept with us, Phil. It looks like there's a pretty strong, cool breeze out there, but the sun is still there. It's a perfect day for football, and here's hoping St. FX can muster a little bit of offense here and give St. Mary's a good run.
St. Mary's will be having scrimmaging the ball on their own 36-yard line, 1st and 10. It looks as if Blake is continuing to keep his first team in there. Ryan Jones at quarterback, and we have Perez and went back quick out. St. FX trying to move with the ball. The ball was to number 81, Jason Curry of St. Mary's. Just a quick slant out. First down, looks like it picked up about 12. It's going to be 1st and 10 once again for St. Mary's on their own 48. St. Mary's coming out doing something different again, Paul.
Exactly, Phil. They just spread us right out. Fortunately, number 2 for St. FX, Chris Arnold, stood his ground and was able to hold on to that fella, or he was gone. There was nobody there.
1st and 10, St. Mary's. Lou Perez, lone setback. St. Mary's spread out otherwise. Hand off to Perez, off tackle. Perez breaks to the outside, moving back to the inside, continue the legs moving. Finally brought down after a gain of about 20 yards.
Again, Sean Duge was able to bring him down. He looked like he might spring it again. They're blocking so well along the offensive line there. He seems to have control, do whatever he wants.
So much quickness. He hits that line. We see it here. Perez will be taking the ball, a quick handoff. Good blocking. The hole opens up. Excellent block there by number 61, Jean-Michel Sylvain. And just the hard running of Perez is just terrific. Fake handoff, reversed by St. Mary's, covered well by St. FX, but number 19, that's Thibault. Thibault on that slot back reverse, but picked up well that time by St. FX, especially by Kwashi, Niamo Kwashi, of St. FX, number 7.
Yeah, our corner stayed at home too that time, Phil. The guy looked up and saw that there was somebody waiting for him. He had to cut back inside. Good play, good defensive play that time by St. FX.
Held him down to 3 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 7 for St. Mary's on the St. FX 37-yard line. Shotgun formation. Ryan Jones. Low snap, picks up the ball, gets the ball. The ball is blocked, knocked down by Rashad Carey. Good defensive play there by Carey, although I thought he might have had a good opportunity to intercept that one.
Exactly, but I thought there at the last minute, Phil, the St. Mary's receiver might have put a little hand on him.
You see it coming now.
Watch it here.
And he went right through it. No, it was a good play by Carey. Excellent job.
He's been playing
there.
Extremely well this afternoon.
Well, he's one of the players, you know, the last couple games, you know, certainly the rain-filled game here, he was all over the field. I noticed him first down in Acadia, did a terrific job down there in the exhibition game. And I think there are a number of young kids that are exciting for St. FX and augurs well for the future. Perhaps not so much this year, but certainly to look down to next year and the years to come.
Exactly.
St. Mary's, Breckenridge will be trying for a 43-yard field goal. Ball is snapped over the head. St. FX pursuing it. Breckenridge trying to pick it up. Going to try to run it, and he's brought right down. Good job there by St. FX 99, Maurice Carvery, who got through the line, chased him down, and tackled Breckenridge.
Yeah, I mentioned that in the first half. There was at least twice that the exchange between center and placer were very high, and the placer was able to pick the ball out of the air and bring it down and give the fella a chance to kick it. That time it was just way over his head. There was no way he'd get it.
You see the ball going up and over his head there. St. Mary's, Breckenridge going back after the ball. We see Carvery coming in right away for St. FX, makes the big hit and brings him down right away. St. FX 1st and 10 on the St. Mary's 52-yard line.
Illegal substitution there.
We have timeout called by St. Mary's. A little bit of a mix-up, I believe, on that.
By St. Mary's.
Ralph, how late can he come on the field, please?
It's going to be 1st and 10 for St. FX on the St. Mary's 52. St. FX will have the ball.
We're getting a few questions here being thrown out by St. FX in terms of illegal substitution on the part of St. Mary's. They brought a player in kind of late, and Blake Nill very smartly called a timeout very quickly before anything happened. So we'll have to wait and see if anything develops from this. By the looks of it, nothing will.
Again, St. FX with a chance to move the ball early in this quarter. There's 12 minutes left to go in the third quarter of today's game. St. Mary's 30. St. FX no score, but St. FX has the ball. 1st and 10 on the St. Mary's 52-yard line. Still running out of the I formation. Jason Warren in motion early. Fitzgerald moves up, drops back, throws that long ball. A little bit overthrown.
That time JR was really hit hard, Phil. Number 95 came in and really, Eric Lyman hit him very, very hard. He looks to be a little shaken up on the play right now, to tell you the truth. There was a timing play that just didn't work. He was throwing into the wind and he didn't get it that well.
But it was nice to see him go for the long one.
Exactly.
The St. FX player, a little better pass. St. FX player looked like he was in the open and would have had a shot at it. Second down, 10 yards to go. Early motion by Warren. Long count. Takes his time, being pushed back. Trying to move out into the end zone, throws the ball. I think we may have a flag. No. Incomplete pass.
He was lucky there, I think, Phil. There didn't seem to be a player in the immediate area. Number 10 came back, but...
Well, I got to show by ignorance of the rules right now, Paul. I know in the NFL, if they break the plane of the tackle, then they can throw the ball away without it being considered grounding. Now, if it applies today, he had certainly broken the plane of the tackle, so if that were the case, that's why it's not a grounding ball. Oh. St. Mary's very, very close to blocking that kick. Shortish punt. St. Mary's comes in, and their kicker is the person that went in, but the ball goes back to St. Mary's. St. Mary's player still with the ball, able to run with it. We have a number of flags down there, but I think the player that got in there was the kicker.
Yes, Phil, he was very sharp to go running right down there. When he saw the ball wasn't caught, immediately he kept on going right from the kicker. He came very close to picking that ball up. Showing a lot of determination there.
For the first time, we see St. FX with a little bit off blocking. That punt almost blocked by St. Mary's. The St. Mary's player right through there and just missed blocking that punt. The referee coming over to explain what's taking place.
He flags on the play. No yards. Called against St. FX is declined.
Okay, the no yards was not a penalty because it was the kicker. However, there was a face mask infraction. Thus, it's 15-yard penalty being marked off against St. FX.
Those are kinds of penalties I don't like at all, Phil, because they hurt you. They can hurt you so badly. Look at here. Look at the field position. It's like taking away a third of the field and giving it back to St. Mary's.
St. Mary's has the ball, 1st and 10. Hand off to Dean Jones. Off tackle. Jones breaks wide. We have a flag on the play. Jones finally pushed out of bounds by Sean Duge of St. FX. We do have a flag. Usually in an area like that, it's holding illegal
use of
blocking.
Yeah.
Preliminary indication.
He holds on every play like that.
Holding against St. Mary's.
We have holding against St. Mary's. We see that here. 57. Not sure which one was holding, Paul, but it was seen right away.
Come on, linebackers, let's tackle up there. Come on, Chubby.
1st and 10, Phil.
St. Mary's with the ball.
Run! Time, step up! Step up!
And out to Dean Jones. Dean Jones tries to get around the corner. Only picks up about 2 yards. Good defensive play there.
They played that.
McCullough.
They played that very, very well. They stretched him out farther and farther and allowed the defensive backs to come up and make that tackle. Here it is here on the replay. You can see him. He thinks he's going to go forward.
Now McCullough staying with him, moving him right across, and a good tackle there by McCullough. Gain of 2 in the play, 2nd and 8 for St. Mary's. Good job there, as Paul mentioned, by the defensive end to stretch that play out and give the linebacker a chance to come over and make the hit. Jones going back to pass, throws the ball.
Almost intercepted.
Good job there by Chris Arnold. We do have a flag on the play. I'm quite sure it's going to be roughing the passer again. Chris McCullough went in. We have rough play, roughing the passer.
No, that time it was Phil Purnanen that went in, not not McCullough. Number 55 was charged with roughing the passer.
So that's going to make first down yardage for St. Mary's. They're going to have the ball 1st and 10 on the St. FX 34-yard line. 9 minutes, 45 seconds to go here in the third quarter of today's game. Handoff to Dean Jones. Jones finally brought down by McCullough, but again, just tremendous blocking by that St. Mary's offensive line. Delayed handoff to Jones, and Jones just kept on running down the field.
Yeah, that you could see the quarterbacks' options there at that same play as well, because he held the ball out there. He could have pulled it out and given it to the second man through, but when he saw the hole there, he just let him have it, and he picked up that first down yardage.
Just terrific blocking. Great instant replay by Eastlink camera people showing the excellent blocking by St. Mary's and the terrific running by Dean Jones. Again, handoff to Jones. Jones off the left side.
McCullough
again brought down by McCullough.
McCullough's having one heck of a game today, Phil. He and Carey are pretty well carrying a lot of the defensive load today.
Well, we see it on the replay again. Straight handoff, good solid blocking, and McCullough coming across, makes the big tackle, brings Dean Jones down after the 5-yard gain. St. Mary's has excellent size offensive line, and they're doing a tremendous job in the blocking, sustaining the blocks, and great running by Dean Jones. Jones gets the pitch back. We have a flag on the play. Jones going in. We have 5 yards, but we are going to have a penalty here. It's a fumble, but I'm not sure if before or after. We're going to have to wait and see what takes place. We have 8 minutes and 27 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
The indication is St. FX has a first down.
Well, that original penalty
holding against St. Mary's,
St. Mary's would be declined. St. FX would recover the fumble and be St. FX ball 1st and 10 on their own 7-yard line.
That's a big play, Phil. It should give them a big boost. Hopefully they're able to move the ball here.
Well, the big thing now is if they're able to move the ball, if they can take advantage. They've had a couple of good plays, a couple of things going their way, but they have to take advantage of those and now move that ball down the field. Gallant calling the plays.
There's
off up the middle. Good straight ahead blocking by St. FX.
Pickup of about 8 yards on that play.
That's the type of hard-nosed football that they're going to have to play.
Here's the replay here. Straight ahead. Yeah.
John Northcott, big offensive tackle for St. FX, leading the blocking on that last play, doing a terrific job. Second down, about 2.5 yards to go for the first down. Looks like a trap play to Williams. Williams trying to get around that corner, but he's picked up by the offside back linebacker.
He just shy, Phil. At that time, somebody caught his leg and he wasn't able to pull it free.
Well, he was one block away. He's 1 block away from breaking loose there. They have good motion. You can see the trap man coming out, and
this guy gets his foot right there. He just can't get away from it.
Finally, 77, Doug Borden of St. Mary's defensive tackle is able to bring him down. St. FX will be forced to punt. They have the ball, 3rd down, a little more than 2 yards to go on their own 14-yard line. Gallant there, again, down to 1 knee, giving the safety, and St. FX will be kicking off once again. Score now, St. Mary's 32, St. FX no score. St. FX football is being brought to you by Eastlink Community Television. Today's broadcast is being sponsored by Subway Restaurant, 56 James Street in Antigonish. Subway, the way a sandwich should be. Paul, we have 7 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
Well, Phil, if I was St. FX coach or player, I would feel that we've come out and we're doing a much better job this half than we were in the first half. I know the score is, we haven't scored any points, but they've only scored 2, I suppose, is a way of looking at it at this point.
I agree with you, Paul. I think that we see them playing a lot better. We see them covering a lot better. There we have a handoff again to Luis Perez. Perez going right up on the left side. Gain on the play about 5 yards. But St. FX is playing a little bit stronger, playing a little bit tighter. We see a little bit coming out of their offense. Good hustle. One thing about X is they're not giving up.
Exactly. My biggest concern right now is if the defense has to stay on the field as much as they are now, by the fourth quarter they're going to start to be tired, and that's just going to give St. Mary's more of an impetus to run up the score.
New quarterback in for St. FX, Tony Villela.
St. Mary's has got a new quarterback in.
Tony Villela is the quarterback now. I would imagine Blake is probably going to start using a number of his backup people now. Villela, looks like a big, tall kid. I don't have
Does he ever? Yes.
the stats on him, but looks like a tall quarterback. Going to be third down and a foot. Rico Heckham is playing fullback. That's a up back. And Luis Perez, I believe, is the halfback.
One of the St. Mary's players seems to have something that the officials consider to be illegal equipment on. He's being asked to leave the field.
Officials timeout for equipment problems.
I'm going to have to find out here, Paul. There's certain pieces of equipment that they have to have. And if they don't wear them, it's a penalty. I'm not sure what's going to happen from there. I thought that was a penalty, Paul. I thought if they didn't have the necessary equipment, if they're not wearing it, that there's a penalty attached to it.
Well, they don't seem to think that that's the case, but they wanted him off the field anyway.
So it's going to be third down and less than probably about a foot to go. Villela at quarterback.
Offside, St. FX.
Perez takes the ball off tackle, breaks away for about 10 yards. Jason Elliott on the tackle. We do have a flag in the play. I believe it's offside St. FX, which will be refused by St. Mary's. St. Mary's will be taking possession, will have possession of the ball first and 10 on the St. FX 53-yard line.
Let's see the blocking here, Phil. I mean, Perez seems to be able to run where he went there. There's a missed tackle. That's too bad. That was McCullough, which doesn't happen very often.
No, McCullough's played a terrific game to this point. First and 10, St. Mary's. Villela at quarterback with Hockham and Perez at running backs. Hockham gets the ball. Stopped right on the line of scrimmage.
Second and 10.
Just saw Luis Perez talking to quarterback Villela. Must have been something he didn't like about that last play. Here we see it again. The handoff is going to be number 31, who's Hockham. And Hockham is hit right on the line of scrimmage and brought down basically immediately on good play there by the St. FX defense. Second and 9 for St. Mary's. Villela going back to pass, looking over the middle. Incomplete pass. Pass was intended for number
88. Number 88.
Number 88. That's Stala. And St. Mary's will be forced to kick. We see Villela going back, throws the ball, and
little underthrown.
Just a little underthrown.
Yeah.
50 will be drawn at the end of the third quarter. There was $675 in the pocket.
Third and basically 10 for St. Mary's on the St. FX 52-yard line. St. Mary's will be kicking.
Carey is back, as is number 13, Mike Carroll.
Ball snapped back. Ball is up. Good floater. Goes to Carroll. Carroll picks up the ball, going down the left-hand side, getting what he can. Good job there by Carroll. He knew that there was no sense in doing anything except going up in the sidelines. He picked up about 15 yards, and St. FX will have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 35. Paul, it'll be interesting to see if we can get the offense generated now.
Yeah, well, that's what we have to see, Phil. We have to see if they can maybe try a few things here that they've been working on that they didn't think they could, maybe just to get something going.
1st and 10. Gallant taking the ball. Warren in motion. Handoff to number 29 of St. FX. That's Adam Stinson. Adam Stinson into the ball game at running back for St. FX. Gain about 1 yard line. 1 yard.
Here we go. Now watch here. Nobody is touching this linebacker right here. He's able to move right over and grab right there.
Yeah. And brought down by Pierre-Paul Hewitt of St. Mary's. 2nd and 9 for St. FX. St. FX 2nd and 9. Gallant going back.
Run.
Fakes.
It's a run here.
Pursued by half the St. Mary's team. Fumble by St. FX. Ball finally picked up by St. Mary's. And it's going to be St. Mary's ball. Gallant, basically a rookie mistake, even though he's not quite a rookie. Holding the ball out, running to the sideline, being pursued by a number of St. Mary's football players. Drops the ball. Ball is picked up by St. Mary's, and St. Mary's will take over possession of the ball. 1st and 10 on the St. FX 15-yard line. They could have called a pushing penalty on St. FX. St. Mary's player went to get on the ball, and St. FX player pushed him. But still, St. Mary's did pick up the ball, and they will have possession of the football. Balilla still in the quarterback for St. Mary's, along with the running backs, Erico Hakim and Louis Perez. Balilla hands the ball up the middle to Perez. Perez maybe picks up 1, maybe 2 yards. 2nd and 8 on the 13-yard line. Big stance here. St. FX needs to hold them, obviously. But, Blake has certainly got a big enough lead right now, and he's using a number of his second players. It's good to see him using his second quarterback and a couple of the linemen, a couple of receivers, to give them the opportunity to play in the game.
Exactly. Game situation is the best learning situation, is it not?
Hand off to Perez. Perez again trying to go up the middle, stopped after about a 2-yard gain. It's going to be a 3rd down for St. Mary's.
3rd and 5 about, Phil, I'd say.
I think that they'll put in the field goal unit.
You can even tell a big difference right there, where Perez is pretty well dominated and gone wherever he wanted in the first half and in the first part of this 3rd quarter. When they put the 2nd string lineman in, he hasn't had the same kind of blocking.
Yeah, and I see he's limping a little bit. They have a good close-up of him coming off the field, and look like he's probably taken a couple of bumps. We may see him going out for the rest of the game. I know I would. I'd take him out and I'd put Jones back in there. It looks like he's limping pretty good right now.
He's probably a tired boy. He had 198 yards in the first half.
And we have field goal attempt by Breckenridge. Ball is up. It's good, but we do have a flag in the play. Officials are discussing it right now. Head official, referee coming out to explain it, says no flag, the field goal is good. 33? 35. Score, St. Mary's 35, St. FX no score. St. FX will have the ball
from their own what? 35-yard line.
35, I believe.
First and 10, St. FX from their own 35.
Looks like one of the officials got hit. He's rubbing his shoulder, his face. He might have got hit with something. But we're going to have St. FX with the ball. First and 10 on their own 35-yard line. Signal from the official to get the play going.
We're down to almost a minute, Phil. The minute flag is going up now.
Look down there, for years and years, we used to see the mayor of the town and Bo on the flag and the clock, but we have new people now. Handoff right up the middle by St. FX. Is that a new quarterback for St. FX?
Number 17 is now in for St. FX, the quarterback. That's
Jonathan Clement. Pick up on the play of 1, 2, about 2, maybe 3 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 7, and a new quarterback in the game now for St. FX. That's Clement. St. FX out of the huddle. 2nd and 7. Clement at quarterback. Early motion by Warren. Dropping straight back to pass. Looking over the middle. Throws the ball over the head of the intended receiver, Jason Warren. We're going to have a 3rd and 7. St. FX will be forced to kick once again.
All in all, Phil, that wasn't a bad pass. It was just a little high. He stood his ground, stayed in the pocket, and released the ball. It had been, here it is right here in the replay. If it had been just a little lower, we would have had a completed pass there, I think.
A little bit lower. If it was Michael Jordan going out for the catch, we would have had it. 3rd down, 8 yards to go for St. FX. St. FX Gallant into punt.
This is likely the last play of the
Squibb kicks it to the right-hand side. Ball goes past the St. Mary's player. Finally picks it up, starting to go to the outside. Swarmed by a number of St. FX players and brought down by B.J. Cunningham of St. FX.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. St. Mary's 35, St. FX no score.
But I think we saw a better St. FX team come out in the second half. They've played better football. They're staying right in there. The score certainly doesn't indicate any big turnaround, but in fact, for a young team, they made the changes that were necessary in the during halftime, and they're coming out playing pretty good brand of football right now.
Agreed, Phil. I think that this has to be a bit of a confidence booster for them too, because if it had continued the way it was, we could see that score doubling. We didn't want that to happen.
St. Mary's quick handoff to Dean Jones. Dean Jones off tackle, quick hit for about 11 yards. It looks like it's going to be a 1st down for St. Mary's. Valilla still in at quarterback for St. Mary's, but Dean Jones, as I said, I'd leave Perez out. I see Perez on the sideline. He's been limping a little bit. Probably smarter not to play him here in this 4th quarter.
There probably would have been on the half of the coaches, or perhaps even Perez himself, the belief that maybe if he stayed in, he could set some kind of record. But what's it worth in the long run?
Quick handoff once again. Dave Harvey. Harvey's the ball carrier for St. Mary's. Finally brought down by St. FX after a gain of about 12 yards. St. Mary's going to have the ball 1st and 10 on the St. FX 44-yard line.
Now, we just saw Harvey run there for a 1st down. He's their 3rd tailback in this game. They are deep in running backs, and good running backs. They certainly have a very strong offensive team this year, Phil.
1st and 10. Valilla going to run a counter play, good counter play. Dean Jones with the ball, cuts back to the inside. Hopefully we can see that one again, Paul. That's just a simple trap play, but you see tremendous running by Dean Jones. He's heading to the outside. He sees the opening to the inside and cuts back in. Here we go now. you'll see as he's coming through, you have the two men pulling. Jones takes the ball, he cuts to the outside, then he sees the opening inside and moves it right back inside on a tremendous job by Dean Jones and running, and a good tackle there by McCullough.
And also a tremendous job by these pulling guard and tackle. St. Mary's have been doing this all afternoon, giving those running backs all the room they need.
Handoff, delayed handoff to Jones, but he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Paul Brown came in that time, nobody touched him, and he just stalked him right in the backfield. That's a big play right there. Keep these fellas from advancing.
Loss of 4. It's going to be second down to 14. Ball back on the 34-yard line of St. FX. St. FX in a solid defensive play on that point. Need another big play right now in order to stop St. Mary's. St. Mary's with the big spread offense. Dean Jones, the only man left field, he goes up to the corner to block. Valilla goes back looking for the pass, throws a nice ball intended for number 18, I believe, of St. Mary's, that Travis Tyler. But that wasn't a bad throw there, Paul. I thought Tyler did a poor job on that.
Exactly, Phil. It's almost like he thought he was going to go one way and decided to go the other. Here we are, right here in the replay. It was tipped. That's right.
That's what it was.
It was tipped.
Good defensive job there by St. FX, because it looked as if Tyler had the ball made right there, but it was an excellent defensive play by St. FX defensive back. Again, they'll be going for a field goal. I think is Breckenridge still doing the kicking. It'll be a 40-yard field goal if he's successful in it. It's against the wind, whatever wind there is, it's against the wind. Ball is blocked once again. Almost picked up by St. Mary's. Big pile up there, but St. FX right through the middle of the line, blocked that field goal attempt, and are able to keep St. Mary's from scoring in that possession. I guess if there's one bright spot for St. FX is their special teams, and if there's one weak spot we've seen for St. Mary's up to this point is the blocking on their punting and on their field goal attempts.
Yeah, Phil, that's probably the only area that we can actually criticize them on at all. And St. FX has to be proud with how well they're playing that specialty area, because they blocked one point after kick, and they blocked a field goal here, which is great.
Well, I'm sure that Blake will be working on that all week long, and Paul Furlan, as I say, I think Paul works in the specialty teams. Paul will be doing whatever it takes to make sure that weakness is taken care of. Delayed handoff, and Williams tries to break free, but still that one person is there stopping Williams each time. One person misses the block. Stenson, Adam Stenson carried the ball that time.
They just seem to be about one step away from breaking.
Yeah.
It must be frustrating.
It's going to be second and a little bit more than 10 yards to go.
Hey, Billy, let's go, baby. Come on, Billy. Come on, Billy. Sean, get in there. You're on. Go get his ass, Bill. Go, Bill.
St. FX looking for the long pass. The ball is up. It's a long pass. Caught. Excellent pass and run play there. Chris Costello, terrific catch by Chris Costello.
From Jonathan Clement, a beautiful pass and run.
Let the ball fly. Well, Clement certainly got the arm, Paul. We were talking that before. I saw him, a little earlier. He's thrown a couple of good ones, but excellent pass and run play by Costello.
Costello saw the ball and kept his eye on it all the way down the field.
Clement again in at quarterback, calling the plays for St. FX. 1st and 10 on the St. Mary's 35. Warren in motion early. Fake handoff right up the middle. Handoff to number 34 for St. FX, Mark Fitzgerald. And we have illegal procedure against St. FX. That was a quick hitter, Paul. I'm not sure what the illegal procedure is, but we see it here. A quick hitter, handoff right to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald picked up a quick 5 yards, but we do have illegal procedure, which will negate that run. Ball will go back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15 for St. FX. 10 minutes 40 seconds left to go in this, the fourth quarter of today's football game. St. Mary's 35, St. FX no score. Clement calling the plays. 1st and 15. Handoff, a little bit slow. Long tender for Stenson, keeps on fighting. Good job by number 29, Adam Stenson of St. FX. Just not able to shake himself free. Picked up about 5 yards, but once again we have a flag in the play.
Stenson, good fight. All right, boy.
You see some good hard work here, Paul.
Excellent work. Here's a fella that's no way he was going to be brought down.
Yeah, doesn't want to, keeps on moving. He's fighting all the way through. Excellent job and excellent effort there by Adam Stenson. We have a penalty against St. Mary's. Unsportsmanlike conduct, Paul, I think that was. That's a 10-yard penalty. That'll move the...
we have the ball on the 25-yard line.
About less than a yard to go for first down. It's a 10-yard penalty, but St. FX a little more than 10 yards to go for first, so now it's going to be second down and less than a yard to go. Stenson, a nice hard little runner. Matt Williams, a nice runner. We've seen some good work out of Marcus Fitzgerald. So a lot of the things with this young St. FX team is there, but it's going to take a while to develop, to put it all together.
The one thing you mentioned earlier on is determination and not wanting to quit. They've stuck with it. As one-sided as the score has been so far, they've stuck with it. Uh-oh.
Throws the pass, passes up, incomplete. A good call. It was it looked like it was just going to be for that half a yard.
Maybe we'll see it in the replay here. Number 7 for St. Mary's puts his hands up thinking he's going to intercept it, and number 13 behind him thought likewise, and he almost makes the catch on the ground. Watch it here. Here it is here.
Pass, the ball is up.
Number 7 goes up thinking he has it, misses it. Number 13 can't see it. Look, almost a touchdown right there.
It's going to be third down for St. FX. Looks like St. FX may be going for a field goal attempt. Timeout being called by St. FX. St. FX didn't have enough players in the field. Number 34, Marcus Fitzgerald, wasn't in the game at that point. And wisely, they called timeout to make sure they had enough players there. But St. FX will be going for a field goal. Be about a 32-yard field goal. Who's that, number 8, Paul?
Number 8.
Ian Carlson for St. FX will be attempting the field goal. About a 32-yard field goal if it's successful. Ian Carlson kicking for St. FX. The ball is down, kick is up. It is good, but I believe there's a flag in the play. It's a good kick, but we do have a flag in the play.
This could result in a first down if it's against St. Mary's.
3-7-2.
Illegal procedure against St. FX. St. FX will have to do it all over again in order to get their field goal. I'm not sure what the illegal procedure is, but there's a lot of talking going on.
Perhaps they will show it again and we'll see. I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary, Phil, there.
Well, they may, procedure in this type of thing, somebody may not have reported in with an incorrect, a different number along the line of scrimmage. They may not have had enough people on the line of scrimmage. It's not necessarily movement.
I see.
So I'm not sure exactly what it was, but now it's going to be a 37-yard attempt for a field goal. He had plenty of leg in the last one.
Yeah, he should make it as long as he can get it on line. He's got the wind in his favor, which is another thing.
So we're going for the 37 now. Ball is missed. Should yell break. St. FX still moving. Finally brought down. Ball is loose. St. Mary's picks up the ball.
I would have thought the ball was down there, Phil, when he was brought down.
I don't do that.
A big mix-up here, but the end result is going to be St. Mary's 35, St. FX no score, and St. Mary's will be taking over possession of the ball. 1st and 10 on the St. FX 50, well, right at midfield. No man's land, that white stripe that's running down the middle.
Isn't that something when you think about that, eh? They had a perfect field goal, then it was called back for a penalty, and then they ended up with nothing at all and having to give up the ball.
St. Mary's has the ball. Valilla in at quarterback. Handoff to number 33. That's Gabe Harvey. We have Harvey and Dean Jones in the backfield now for St. Mary's. Pick up by Harvey on the play of about 6 yards. 2nd down and 4. 8 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter of today's game. Second down, 4 yards. Valilla has looked quite good for coming in, taking the place of the starting quarterback. Handoff to Jones. Jones, that quick opener, gets the 1st down and a couple more. Pick up probably about 7 yards.
Again,
going to be 1st and 10.
Again, McCullough was in on that tackle. He's going to be a tired boy at the end of the game today, Phil. I would certainly feel, as far as St. FX is concerned, he's probably been the dominant force on defense throughout this game.
1st and 10, St. Mary's, St. FX 43-yard line. Valilla in at quarterback. Dean Jones at halfback, fakes the handoff. Valilla going back, being pursued by St. FX number 27 and brought down. Good play. Jason Elliott coming in from the left side, able to catch Valilla behind the line of scrimmage, take him down for about an 8-yard, 9-yard loss. It's going to be 2nd down and almost 20 yards to go. Good play there by Jason Elliott.
Great play coming in from the opposite side, Phil, too. Came right around. Showed here. Comes right up behind him. See him grab the arm and try to knock the ball loose. Valilla was lucky to hold on to the ball.
Absolutely. 2nd down, 20 yards to go. Valilla back there. Has it spread out. Dean Jones with the ball, still running. Good pursuit there by St. FX players. Finally brought out of bounds. And we have a penalty flag being thrown, which is a really, really hurt penalty if it's on St. FX. It looks like a late hit by St. FX. The player was out of bounds, and it looks like there was a late hit put on it. If there is, it's going to be a 1st down. It is.
Objectionable conduct called against St. FX.
Here you see it coming along, Billy. Paul.
Yes, and then he was out of bounds and he hit him.
Went down low on him,
yeah.
Out of bounds. Dean Jones on a big run and a foolish late hit on the part of St. FX. The last thing St. FX needs to do is get a penalty such as that.
It's now, hold on a second, they haven't straightened out the chains as yet. Okay, it's 3rd and less than a yard, the way they're showing it right now.
Officials are still talking about it. Not sure what the end result is going to be.
The officials coming over to talk to, I'm not sure whom. Talking to Coach Nill.
Still a lot of discussion going on over there. Not sure exactly what it's about, or as to why they're talking to Blake rather than to both coaches. It is 3rd down. 3rd down and less than a yard to go for 1st down. I'm not sure who I'd want coming in after me there, Harvey or Jones. Both of them good power runners. Hand off right at the middle to number 33. That's Gabe Harvey. Harvey picks up first down for St. Mary's. It's going to be 1st and 10 for St. Mary's on the St. FX 32-yard line. St. Mary's 1st and 10. Valilla in the quarterback. Spread wide, makes the handoff, going back, straight back, throws the ball over the middle. Good pass there to number 21. That's Chris Feets of St. Mary's, the slot back, moving across the middle. Excellent pass there by Valilla.
That man again, Phil, I'm sure it'll show it on the replay, just cut right across the middle, and I think we must be in a zone defense because there's nobody there to pick him up. Watch, he's going to be all by himself right here. Right down.
Good catch, good pass, good run after the ball is caught. Fumbles it out of bounds. 1st and 10, St. Mary's on the St. FX 15-yard line. Lily hands the ball off to Jones. Jones up the middle, moving once, twice, down to about the 1-yard line, and we have flags all over the field.
There might be an interference play here, call against.
Waiting on the call. Again, excellent running on the part of Dean Jones of St. Mary's. Excellent blocking by the entire St. Mary's offensive line.
Here's the penalty call against X. Declined.
Penalty against X declined. It's going to be 1st and goal to goal for St. Mary's on the St. FX 1-yard line. Valilla still in the quarterback. Jones and Harvey in it back. We have a flag in the play. St. Mary's goes into the end zone. We have a flag. Haven't seen what the flag is yet. Offside, St. FX declined. Touchdown, St. Mary's. Now the play coming up here. Ball is given off to Dean Jones. Jones takes the ball straight up the middle. And there's the touchdown. Again, an excellent offensive drive, but a drive that was stopped basically by St. FX, and a late hit out of bounds by St. FX gave St. Mary's another life, and St. Mary's took advantage of that play infraction on St. FX, and were able to take the ball all the way in for a
Absolutely.
touchdown.
In this particular series of plays, the last couple of times St. Mary's have had the ball, St. FX has shot themselves in the foot at least twice on penalties that allowed St. Mary's to retain control of the ball or advance the ball. And of course, it's resulted right now in a 7-point advance in their score. The score is now 42 St. Mary's, St. FX no score.
You know, one thing about, we talk about St. FX and youthful enthusiasm and all of that. And that, unfortunately, one of the things that go along with a no-quit effort and enthusiasm, desire to play as hard as you possibly can, you end up with a couple of, unfortunately, a couple of plays like that. Certainly that hit out of bounds was nothing trying to injure anybody. It was just over-exuberance on the part. And St. Mary's takes advantage of those things. You give St. Mary's any kind of an opening at all, and as we've seen, they're able to move that ball down the field.
Exactly. And they can do it in such bursts of energy. Like they can get a run such as Perez had, that 69-yard run where he just explodes and goes right through.
One thing, Paul, we look at St. Mary's. They've got Perez as a terrific running back. Jones, when they decided not to give it to Perez, to give it to Jones, and Jerome is a terrific running back. Gabe Harvey and Erico Hackam, they have 4 offensive backs that are capable of moving. And Jones and Perez can, once they get the ball, they know what to do with it, and they have the speed to go all the way, as we've seen from both of them today.
Exactly, and look at Valilla's been in there, and he's been holding his end up very well. He threw a very nice pass there. And he seemed to be running the offense once he'd given a bit of a chance very well.
St. Mary's dribble the kick. Ball goes straight up the middle, picked up by St. FX. St. FX player just bulls his way as he's supposed to. Pick up the ball, go straight ahead, don't try anything fancy, and get what you can on that. Good play there.
That was Chris Johnson that picked up the ball on that particular kickoff, and he brought it back. St. FX will scrimmage the ball 1st and 10 on their own 47-yard line, Phil.
You know, Paul, I'm looking at St. FX and I'm looking at St. Mary's. St. Mary's is as good as they look, and St. FX is not as bad as they look.
Exactly. It's, again, a lot of it is experience and the youth that you talked about before.
1st and 10. Cut by his own player from behind, which is highly unfortunate. Number 29, Stenson, goes into the back of the legs of the quarterback for St. FX.
There's just a misplay, and those things will happen every now and then. The statisticians passed us a few moments ago. We were talking about the tremendous game McCullough's been having for St. FX on defense, and as of a few minutes ago, he was in on 14 tackles so far for St. FX, which is
that's a season for some people.
Exactly.
2nd down, about 12 yards to go for St. FX. Clementon is quarterback.
Offside.
Dropping straight back. It looks like a pass to the outside. Pass was intended for number 34, Marcus Fitzgerald. Incomplete. We do have an offside infraction against St. Mary's.
4 minutes and 30-some seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Again, the score, if you're just joining us, is St. Mary's 42, St. FX no score. St. FX is now in possession of the ball. Penalty against St. Mary's, offside, making this play 2nd down and about 7 yards to go.
Well, we've got both quarterbacks. We see Clement that's in there now. He's not afraid to throw the ball. He's got to work a little bit on, as our buddy Sandy Benoit says, it's good long but bad straight.
Exactly, yes.
We got to have some work on that, but not too bad looking in there. We got a lot of fresh faces in there for St. Mary's. Ball intended for number 34, again overthrown. A little bit of pushing going on here. We got a flag on the play. From way downfield, it looked like it's going to be roughing on somebody. I'm not sure whom. St. FX seems to be clapping, so it's probably against St. Mary's.
3rd down.
Official to make the call. It looks like the objectionable conduct against St. Mary's. Ball's going down the field. 1st down for St. FX.
This might be a little change that will help us move down the field and get into that end zone, Phil.
I hope so. It would certainly do a lot for St. FX if they're able to get some type of drive going. Clement going back, looks, throws the ball. Out of the hands of number 82, Chris Costello. But Clement lets that ball go. He can throw the ball, Paul. I think
yeah, I think we're both impressed by how well he is throwing the ball. Probably right now more than anything else. A lot of people don't realize this field is crowned, and when you're standing in the middle of the field and you're throwing to a receiver on the outside edge here, sometimes all you're seeing is his shoulders or, the upper part of his body, and it takes time to get used to passing the ball in this field.
St. FX, 2nd and 10 on the St. Mary's 50-yard line. Clement, quarterback. Manson in motion. Clement dropping straight back. Good protection. Looking down the middle, throws the ball deep. Trying to get it to number 82. That's Costello. Ball is incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down and 10. St. FX sending in their kicking team. Yeah, he can throw the ball, but he doesn't have a lot of accuracy right now, Paul. He seems to be a young kid and so forth. But I like to see what they're doing. They're trying to do that. If you could get the ball on the mark, Chris Costello had broken free just a little bit. A good pass may have had that.
He might have been able to run under that one.
Too. But again, you know, with a young team, that's what's going to happen starting off.
Yeah, they're not going to show it here, but another thing I noticed too is that he didn't plant that time. He was trying to throw a very long ball.
Ball is up, taken on the 5-yard line. St. FX all over the, finally bring him down on about the 11-yard line of St. FX. St. Mary's. St. Mary's will have the ball. First and 10 on their own 11-yard line. 2 minutes and 57 seconds left. St. FX football being brought to you by Eastlink Community Television, and today's broadcast is being sponsored by Subway Restaurant, 46 James Street in Antigonish. Subway, the way a sandwich should be. The whistle has gone. 3 minutes, really 2 minutes and 57 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter of today's game. St. Mary's with the ball. First and 10 on their own 12-yard line. Handoff to the left-hand side to Dean Jones. Pick up on the play of about 5 yards. A lot of new numbers in there for St. Mary's. Paul?
A lot of new numbers, Phil. It's a perfect opportunity for Coach Nill to put some of his players in and give them a chance at game experience, and they still seem to be able to move the ball quite successessly. Though I've got to give St. FX a lot of credit. They're sticking in there, and though there have been 12 points scored in the second half, it certainly hasn't been the total domination it was.
Connor play there for St. Mary's. Number 33, that's Harvey. Harvey running the ball well, moving the ball all the way out to the 35-yard line of St. Mary's. St. Mary's has Gabe Harvey and Erico Hockham. Those would be the backup running backs into the game now together. They have been one with Ryan, one with Louis Perez.
Yes.
They have the two of them in two backups, and as we just saw, they can move the ball quite well also.
Exactly.
Second man handoff to Hockham. Harvey brought down after a gain of about 4 yards. I like the look of Valilla.
Yes,
nice quarterback.
So do I, Phil. And it's nice to see a nice big fella in there, nice and tall. He can see over the line. He's got a good arm. He's thrown a couple of good passes.
Yeah. And he stays right in there. He's been hit a couple times, bounced right back up. He's not afraid to move the ball around in there. And I have to commend Blake and the coaching staff on getting the players in, getting as many of the kids in as possible to give them some experience in the football game. We have a timeout with by St. Mary's. 1 minute, 35 seconds left to go. If you have any questions or comments about this show or any other programming on Eastlink Community Television, please call our viewer response line. You can reach us toll-free at 1-888-354-8439. And while you're at it, be sure to tune in to Plugged In, a news magazine show about the people and events in your community, right here on Eastlink Community Television. Well, Paul, next week, St. FX and Acadia, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it
Down at Acadia.
Down at Acadia. I think we get, there will be 2 weeks where we will not have a game here at the Olin Center.
Maybe 3.
Maybe it is 3. I know 2 for sure, and then we have 2 games in a row after that.
At home. Yeah, I think it's 3 weeks. And then we have Mount A coming down, which Eastlink will be broadcasting again. The Mount A game, and then Acadia again, I believe. We have an injured player. That's number 33, Gabe Harvey of St. Mary's, coming out of the game. Second down, about 6 yards to go for St. Mary's. Valilla, quarterback, dropping back to pass. Good drop back. Looks like he's trying to set up a screen. Goes to number 31. Good play there by St. FX.